Right. Okay. So now we're going to round up, and this final thing that we're going to talk about, I'm going to try and talk about this quickly, is Poker Face. Poker Face, and this is on Now TV. Poker Face is a TV show that has been released in America a while. We have been waiting for it in the UK because it was released on. We're talking about everybody having their own streaming platform after Netflix forced their hand. NBC in the States, if you know that they have their logo is like a sort of peacock with all the different letters and the feathers and everything like that. So they had a streaming service called Peacock. And this was on Peacock in the States. It never really came over. Peacock never really came over to the UK. Then it showed up in a kind of way in which Peacock shows were showing up on Sky, and it was like Sky Peacock by Sky. It was jumbled. Nobody really knew what was going on. It was a bit like when they had Stars Plays on Amazon. Nobody had a clue what that thing was.
I
So
think
they
I
eventually.
still have Stars Play, by the way.
I think they've changed the name to Lionsgate Plus. I don't know.
I can't keep track.
and and there is and so Peacock on Sky stopped, and then this show was stopped for a while. People were like, "Where the heck is this show?" Because it is written and directed, created by Ryan Johnson, who created Knives Out. He did the Knives Out movies, the Benoit Blanc movies, and this is essentially it's a TV show. And the whole thing they knew about this, it was going to be a weekly sort of detective procedural, and it stars Natasha Lyonne, who some people might know from American Pie. It was the first I ever saw her, but she's done a lot of stuff over the years. She's done Russian Doll. She was in Orange Is the New Black, and she's also an executive producer. So it's pretty much her and Ryan Johnson who created this thing. She plays a character called Charlie Kale. And when you first meet Charlie is working in a Las Vegas casino. She's just like a drinks girl, like, just walking around the sort of casino floor, serving people drinks in like a skimpy outfit and all that. And one day she gets called up to the boss of the casino, who it turns out is actually the son of the casino owner. And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to get fired." And she goes in there and she starts talking to him. She's like, "Oh, you're going to fire me, right?" And it transpires that the way she ended up working in this casino is that she has this very, very peculiar ability to instantly tell when somebody is lying to her. So obviously she'd used that while playing poker, made a whole bunch of money, and then the casino owner had issues with this. So, it's there's a plot. So this guy thinks if you have this ability, he is convinced because she shows him, yeah, I can tell when you're lying, I can tell when anybody is lying. So he comes up with this plot that she's going to be part of. That's going to use her abilities. Something goes wrong, and then she ends up going on the run. She ends up going on the run, and this show makes no bones about the fact that it is inspired by Columbo. Even the font that is used at the beginning looks like Columbo. If it wasn't for the fact that the camera was a better quality and it was widescreen, you would think this was you could think that this was made during the 80s and you would expect Peter Falk to show up at any point in time. So every episode is like its own self-contained story. There's a very, very sort of like slight arc that carries on over the whole season, but every episode is pretty much you could pick up an episode and watch it on its own. You can see all the guest stars that they've managed to get to come to be in the show. It's like, oh my god, it's Nick Nolte. Where's he been doing? and it's and so in each one of them they do the whole Columbo thing as well, where at the beginning they tell you they show you the murder, they show you the crime, they show you exactly what's happened. They don't make any bones about that. This is what's happened. Then you go, and then it's about Charlie figuring it out. And she's not a detective, but it's just because she has this thing, and she has this almost thing where she can't let anything go. So because she can't let anything go, she's like, no, this isn't lying. If this is what happened, why are you lying to me about that? And so it's quite a nice little sort of conceit. Obviously, they sort of go, she's magic, okay? She can tell when you're lying. Just take that as read. We're not going to try and explain that. That's what she does. And then they go into every episode, and it's almost like a procedural. Each episode is standalone, showing you how there's a case of the week and how she figures it out and how she ends up her life being intricate, like into it as she travels across America. And I really, really like this. I really, really like this. I think it's good. I think a lot of it comes down to the style of it. There's one episode that's made, and even from the beginning, when the music kicks off, the music is like something out of Psycho. It's like something out of Psycho, or like, these heightened San Francisco 1980s set thrillers. And that episode is just heightened, and it's all close-ups on the face, and it's all like, histrionic acting. And so that you can see them playing around with it, and I think it's really, really good. I think Natasha Lyonne is really, really is brilliant as Charlie. this is probably because I think Natasha Leone, she has a bit of a shtick, probably because of her voice, because she always sounds a little bit like that, even though she's probably only about 35. She she sounds like a 60-year-old woman who has been smoking every single day since she was born. and, I think that she sort of has this sort of like, oh, she's a bit frumpy. She doesn't really care about personal hygiene or anything like that. That she does in almost all of her characters. But I think in this one, there is a little bit something else in there that I actually really like. And I like the interactions that she has between the different people that she meets each week, and the way she goes about it, and the way she goes about figuring out, oh, that there was a crime that was committed here, and actually figuring it, and actually solving that crime was good. Oh, Ellen Barkin shows up in an episode. It has a brilliant supporting cast. I really like Poker Face. I would give it a 4 out of 5. I would say go watch it before there is some other contractual dispute that means that we can't watch it in the UK, or your passport gets taken away from you so you can't watch it. Go watch Poker Face, because there's 10 episodes, an hour each, and well worth your while. And you can almost watch them in. There are a couple of things that wouldn't make sense if you didn't watch them in sequence, but quite frankly, you can watch any episode out of sequence, and you would still understand most of them, apart from 1, 9, and 10. Apart from 1, 9, and 10. All right, cool. So that is it. 4 stars for Poker Face. Any questions?